Hi guys, I'm Jen Hood. I'm the director and CEO here at Jump Gymnastics, and I can't wait to tell you a bit more about myself today. Well, I've been at Jump since the beginning. So in 2007, I took the entrepreneur program at Langara College. And at the end of that, I launched Jump Gymnastics in 2008. So we opened our doors in Yaletown in 2008, and I have been there ever since. I've done everything from coaching classes and answering phones and cleaning the bathrooms and drywalling and setting up new equipment. I've then moved to just coaching for a while and worked in a more of a leadership role. And now I've transitioned out of that, and now I coach the coaches and coach the rest of our team. So right now I manage mostly the finances and the leadership development part of our company. Yeah, my background is interesting. I've always coached gymnastics growing up. I was a very poor gymnast, a very low level competitive gymnast. But I started coaching and loved coaching more than I ever loved competing in the sport, and put myself through 2 university degrees coaching. But I never really thought of it as a full time job. It was always for me sort of that lifeguarding job or your first waitressing position, whatever it is, that sort of backup. But it wasn't until one, the first thing was I was introduced to long term development, or what's now long term athlete development, at the University of Victoria when I was there. And that was the first thing that sort of planted a seed in my head that, wait, gymnastics is actually really valuable for developing kids in that really early stage of 0 to 6 years old, as far as larger concept athlete development. And then the next thing was when I was teaching in the school system in Delta, I realized that kids entering kindergarten really were lacking fundamental skills. They just on the playground didn't have the skills that they needed. And then the third piece that fell into place was my daughter. My middle daughter was born and diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. And that for me was the game changer in my life. And I decided at that point in time to quit my job. I was teaching at that time, and go back to school and do the Langara program and open jump so that I could build the best gross motor development program for young kids in our city, and be available to be there to help my family and take care of my daughter as she needed it. Okay, my coaching philosophy, that's a really interesting one, and I think it's evolved over the years, and I'm going to think about it right now in the context of the team that I coach. I believe in potential. I really am that teacher to my core that loves to help people find potential in themselves that maybe they didn't even know they had. And then from that point, once they become aware of something in themselves, really help them unlock what that looks like, and grow and evolves into something that they maybe never thought ever that they could be. That for me is at its core what teaching and coaching is about. I try not to take life too seriously. There's enough seriousness going on that I try not to focus on that, and instead try and focus on the kinder, lighter side of life. Other than making sure our facilities are COVID compliant and the cleanest, safest facility up to any standard. Um, I'm working on two major fun projects. The first one is Seed and Sprout Fundamentals. I won't talk too much about that, but that's a whole other company we're launching. As well as internally at Jump, I'm working on transitioning all of our learning and for both leadership coaching and our admin team to an online platform. So we're going to develop some internal courses so that instead of myself or the GMs needing to be there for training all the time, we're going to have a whole bunch of online modules that people can learn at their own pace. Family is obviously number one. I have three phenomenal husband. 100% family is the most important thing to me. Um, as I get older, I would say friends that can really make me laugh, like really those friends in life that you can just always count on to have a really good laugh with. Um, and I'm going to say travel, but more from the perspective. I like traveling to really help me get a different perspective on life. So if it's not travel, then anything else that helps me see the world through somebody else's eyes. Oh, my favorite part of my job, hands down, is leadership development. That's an easy one for me. We have a great leadership course that we do every year, and it's a series of 12 modules of doing them, and I love watching the growth and evolution of our leadership team as we go through them. Hmm. I'm really good at French braiding. I know that sounds ridiculous. It's not even because I have three girls, but when I was 15 and 16 and coaching gymnastics, for whatever reason, the entire on having their hair French braided. And so I got very fast at French braiding an entire team of gymnasts' hair in a short period of time. Three questions I'd like somebody to ask me, but maybe I would also warn them not to ask me because they typically launch me into a long-winded conversation. The first one would be, "Hey, tell me about risky play." That will get me going for hours and hours on end. The next one would be, "Talk to me about a coach development program or coach evaluation." That's really great, and I can talk about that one for hours. Um, and I think the third one would be, "Talk to me about the connection between developing movement skills or physical literacy in young children and how that translates into leadership skills later in life." That's another one that you probably don't want to get trapped with me at a cocktail party discussing. Thanks for joining me today, guys. It was great to tell you a little bit about myself.